Updates to quarantine guidance for K-12 schools, the details of the Ohio Department of Health's new guidelines.
Local residents struggling to find nutritious groceries in their communities. More on food deserts plaguing Portage County.
And despite the pandemic, greenhouse gas emissions are nearing an all-time high, how it's affecting the planet.
And experts predict Americans will spend a spooky amount this Halloween. TV2 starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County, and welcome back to your Monday edition of TV2 News. I'm Maddy Haberberger.
And I'm Gabby Jonas. The morning, the Ohio Department of Health announced new COVID guidelines for K-12 schools.
That's right. Our Marz Anderson joins us now to break down what this means. Hi, Marz.
Yes, Maddy, the great state of Ohio updated its quarantine guidance for schools dealing with COVID-19 exposures. The goal is keeping students inside the classroom. Conference held earlier today, Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff, director of the Ohio Department of Health, announced two main focuses in what is a mask to stay and test to play policy. If students or staff experience direct contact with COVID-19 and want to remain in the classroom, they must wear a mask 14 days after their last exposure, self or parent monitor symptoms, and isolate and get tested if they experience symptoms.
Quarantine in the face of high rates of transmission and hospitalization, like we're seeing now, remains an important part of our public health response to COVID-19. But out-of-school quarantine has the unintended consequence of reducing in-school learning and can place added strains on our students, our parents, schools, and our local health departments.
For participation in extracurricular activities, asymptomatic contacts may continue to participate if they wear a mask when able. Testing should be at first exposure and again in 5 to 7 days. If students test negative in that period, they qualify to test out of quarantine in 7 days and resume normal activity. Schools are also encouraged to consider same-day testing for athletic competitions to reduce school-to-school exposure.
Protecting children remains paramount, but so does keeping them in school. But it's important to note that schools are not required to adopt these policies, and parents can opt out if they.
Vanderhoff said those exposed to COVID-19 outside of school should follow standard quarantine guidelines that already exist, and those who consistently wear masks in school and are fully vaccinated can resume or can remain in the classroom if they're exposed. For TV2 News, I'm Marz Anderson.
Thanks so much for that report, Marz. COVID-19 booster shots are available across the state for eligible Ohioans ages 18 and up. The CDC announced last week that adults who received a Pfizer or Moderna vaccine can get a booster shot 6 months or more after their initial shot if they're in one of the following groups: those who are 65 and older, and those 18 and older who live in long-term care settings, have underlying medical conditions, or work in high-risk areas, including first responders, teachers, and grocery store workers.
Hello, Kent State and Portage County. I'm TV2 weather anchor Alexa Blakely, here to bring you today's forecast. Let's get started. So today we're seeing 66 degrees, and that's exactly what it feels like. It's also partly cloudy. We have a dew point of 53 degrees today, winds going south at 3 miles per hour. It's a little bit humid today at 63%, but we have a really high visibility. So looking at our forecast for the rest of tonight, it's going to get a little bit chillier by 8 o'clock. It's going to go down to 58 degrees, and unfortunately we are going to be seeing rain throughout the entire evening with a 46% chance. Looking at temperatures all across Ohio, we're seeing mid-60s, and a couple cities have mid-50s today actually. Our lowest temperature of the day is over here in Lima at 54 degrees, and our highest temperatures of the day are at 66 degrees in Akron and in Athens. If we zoom in on Northeast Ohio, you can see that we have kind of similar temperatures, except for Sandusky, which has the lowest temperature of the day at 54 degrees. And we actually have the highest temperature of the day right here in Kent. at 66. That's all I have for you right now, but don't go anywhere, because when I come back, I'll be showing you the statewide radar, as well as the forecast for the rest of the week and the Halloween weekend. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Alexa. Thousands of local residents are struggling to find nutritious food in their communities due to lack of full-service grocery stores. Reporter Audra McClain breaks down how food deserts are affecting Portage County.
Maintaining a well-balanced diet is key to keeping yourself healthy, but food deserts in the rural areas of Portage County make nutritious foods hard to come by.
Food desert is defined by the USDA as an area that lacks adequate access to nutritious food.
Cities like Ravenna are considered food deserts due to their lack of full-service grocery stores.
We generally don't even go grocery shopping in Ravenna. We typically go to like Stowe or Kent or usually like Brimfield or like other areas.
Food deserts are not the only reason Portage County residents are struggling to purchase groceries.
Food insecurity, similarly, is the lack of access to adequate nutritious food, but has more to do with really a family's resources and their economic state.
Feeding America estimates that nearly 22,000 Portage County residents struggle with food insecurity, but food pantries like the Center of Hope in Ravenna provide food for those in need.
The mission of Center of Hope is to be able to fill the gap of food disparities in Portage County.
Center of Hope has been a resource for people that are down and out.
We have a food pantry, and that runs Monday through Thursday, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And then we also have hot meals that run 6 days a week.
Some of these people sleep under a bridge. And they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And this hot lunch may be their biggest meal of the day.
If you are one of the thousands of people struggling to purchase groceries, the Akron Canton Food Bank website provides an interactive map for finding a pantry near you. Reporting in Portage County, I'm Audra McClain.
The Portage Medical Center Foundation has awarded 11 local students with academic scholarships. The awardees are all students of UH Portage employees who aren't physicians. The foundation offers scholarships to help pay for educations in any field, but many awardees are pursuing a career in healthcare. 6 awards went to high school students who graduated in the spring, and 5 went to students who are currently attending college. 2 Kent State students received the Dr. Steve and Patty Dean Scholarship.
And for all our book lovers out there, the Portage County District Library seeks funds to restore services. The library is asking for voters to pass a $1 million and 10-year property tax levy to supplement its overriding budget on November 2nd. Should the levy pass, the historic library would restore hours, increase services and materials, work within the community, and build new opportunities for the library. Director Jonathan Harris said, quote, "Not everyone in Portage County uses the library, but likely a neighbor, friend, or family member does."
And a runaway emu is still missing in Portage County, and the family he lives with is asking for the public's help in bringing him home. The owners of Napoleon said he got spooked and jumped a fence a few weeks ago, and he's been on the run across the region ever since. Members of the Portage County and Neighbors Facebook group have posted several sightings, with Napoleon being spotted most recently just this morning near Alliance Road heading south. If you see Napoleon, it's best not to approach him. Instead, call the Portage Animal Protection League.
It's expected children will be able to get the COVID-19 vaccine in coming weeks. More on what vaccines are getting approved.
New details in the on-set shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins when we return.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero. Good job, kitty cat. When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
Welcome back. Moderna says its vaccine for kids ages 6 through 11 shows a, quote, robust immune response. According to a study with more than 4,500 children, the majority of adverse events were mild or moderate, and vaccinated children developed antibodies at a similar level to young adults with full-strength shots. The dosage in the kids' vaccine is half that of the adult vaccine, and Moderna plans to submit its data to the FDA in the near term.
In less than 2 weeks, millions of kids in the U.S. could be eligible to roll their sleeves for the COVID-19 vaccine. Brett Conway has the latest on the push to get shots in the arms of kids 5 to 11.
How are we going to end the pandemic? The best way to do so is to have the maximum number of individuals immune, and that's what vaccines offer you. And if that includes kids, that's all the more reason to send this virus packing.
Pfizer is already packing, ready and waiting to ship out its COVID-19 vaccine for kids 5 to 11. It's 2 doses, 3 weeks apart, each a third of a normal dose. And Pfizer says it's about 90% effective against symptomatic infection. The FDA's vaccine advisors are scheduled to meet tomorrow to make their recommendation to the FDA, which has already said the benefits outweigh the risks. So if and when the FDA formally makes the emergency use authorization, Pfizer is ready to get shipping.
So it will be available for use once there's a hopefully positive vote from CDC. So it could be as early as November 4th and 5th that you can go into some locations and get your child vaccinated.
The nation's 28 million kids in that age group could get their first COVID-19 vaccine in just about a week and a half, but ultimately, it's up to parents.
Parents ought to look at that discussion, see what the experts are saying. I don't want to get ahead of FDA and CDC's advisory process. Let's see what they say. But the data preliminarily looks pretty good.
And you're all done.
I think it could make a huge difference. It would be pivotal.
Pivotal to ending this pandemic. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
A new study shows that the COVID-19 virus was spreading around the United States and Europe before it was caught. Transmissions of the coronavirus likely occurred in January and February of 2020, with many cases undetected. The study looked at information on airline transportation and other travel patterns. Researchers estimate 1 to 3 in 100 coronavirus infections were detected by surveillance systems in early March. The first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in Europe on January 21st of 2020.
Welcome back, everybody. I know you've been waiting patiently for the rest of today's weather forecast, so I won't keep you waiting any longer. It's going to be a little bit chillier tonight at 51 degrees. And unfortunately, we are going to be seeing rain tonight with a chance of thunderstorms. There is a small chance of rain in the morning. Sunset's coming up really soon at 6:30 p.m. and the sun is going to rise tomorrow at 7:48 a.m. And speaking of tomorrow morning, it's going to be a lot chillier than it was today at 48 degrees. We are going to have a chance of rain at 47%. By 10 o'clock, that's going to kind of level out, but by the time we hit noon, we're going to be right back to rain. And it's going to stay about the same temperature all day. And if we look at our radar, you can kind of see the storm that is going to be hitting us tonight. This is what it looks like right now, and this is going to be crossing over our heads in the next 30 minutes. And finally, if we look at the 7-day forecast for the week, we kind of have a cloudy, rainy week coming up. It's going to be cloudy on Wednesday, partly cloudy on Thursday, and then the rest of the week is unfortunately going to be rainy. However, we do have the rain clearing up by Halloween Day. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have a great Halloween, and be sure to tune in again next Monday for next week's forecast. I'm Alexa Blakely with TV2. Back to the desk.
Well, having it finished with all the T's and I's and everything, crossed and dotted, that'll be difficult from the Senate side because we have an awful lot of text to go through. But as far as conceptually, we should. I really believe it'll, and just have a lot of good faith in it.
Do you think there'll be a framework agreement this week?
Framework should be. Really should be.
President Biden is getting closer to the passage of his social safety net bill. The bill covers paid leave, tax increases, and Medicare benefits that have been discussed for months. Biden met with Senators Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin III to discuss further processing of the bill. The bill is 90% written and agreed to at this time. Speaker Nancy Pelosi says that she hopes to pass the bill by the end of next week.
Greenhouse gas emissions hit a new high in 2020. The United Nations said Monday that amounts of CO2, methane, and nitrous oxide all increased in the atmosphere over the last year. The last time the Earth had a comparable level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere more than 3 million years ago. The UN's report also found that greenhouse gas emissions are on course to rise by 16% by 2030. And new details in the fatal on-set shooting death of Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer for the film Rust. A search warrant from set shows that several crew members had walked out of the set prior to the incident for issues related to payment and labor conditions. Actor Alec Baldwin was told by a crew member that the prop was a cold gun, meaning it did not contain live ammunition, but the gun discharged, killing Hutchins and injuring director Joel Souza. Production on the film has been shut down as officials continue to investigate the incident.
Facebook is dealing with yet another problem, but this time it's not an outage. Documents based on disclosures made the Securities and Exchange Commission, called the Facebook Papers, are seeing backlash on the worldwide social media app. Wall Street investors are displeased with the direction Facebook is going and highly suggest a change in leadership for the company.
Americans are scary prepared for the Halloween holiday. More on their record-breaking spending.
Kent State took on the Ohio Bobcats this past weekend. Tune in my sports report for highlights on the game.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Mergen, and this is your TV2 Sports Report. So let's get right into it with some Kent State football. The Kent State football team took on Ohio University this past weekend, and it was the Dustin Crum and Dante Cephas show once again. Cephas had 9 catches for 103 yards and a touchdown in this game. Crum was 26 for 31 passing, showing off the accuracy, and he displayed his speed on the ground by scrambling for a total of 17 times, and he got 93 yards and a touchdown. Marquez Cooper and Xavier Williams each also punched in a touchdown of their own, and with the Flashes offense firing on all cylinders, they took down the Ohio Bobcats in this one with a final score of 34-27. The Flashes will look ahead to their next matchup against the Northern Illinois on November 3rd. The Browns played last Thursday night, but we still had a jam-packed weekend with football, and what a game it was between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Let's take a look at the highlights from this great AFC North matchup. Joe Burrow and the Bengals taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens in this one. Here we go. Burrow on play action. He's going to step up and take a deep shot. He floats it perfectly to C.J. Uzomah. And look at the big tight end with a nice stop and go. And he's able to go all the way for the touchdown. Bengals will go up 10-3 there, but the Ravens would respond. Devontae Freeman punching it over the goal line for the touchdown late in the second quarter. And then now Lamar Jackson and the Ravens march down. He lofts one up to the speedster, Marquise Brown. And what a grab that is for Brown as he lays out to go get that catch. Touchdown, Ravens. Let's look at that again one more time. What a catch by Brown as he gets the toe tapper for the touchdown. And then Burrow once again. He's going to find C.J. Uzomah here. And the big man is putting defenders on skates in this game. Uzomah with a touchdown, and the Bengals begin to pull away. Burrow again finds his number 1 target, Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase is going to break the tackle. What a spin, and he splits the defense, and Chase is gone. And Jamar Chase having an unbelievable season for the Cincinnati Bengals this year, and the Bengals are sitting on top of the AFC. And then Bengals leading in the fourth once again. Burrow's going to hand the ball off to Joe Mixon. It's been his year. Mixon cuts to the middle, and he bulldozes 2 Baltimore defenders for the touchdown score, and this game's out of hand. Bengals win with a final score of 41-17 and sit atop of the AFC conference. That's all I have for sports today. Once again, I'm Matthew Mergen. Make sure to tune to Sports Corner tonight at 8 p.m.
And what national holiday features a spice for your latte when we come back?
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced House Hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. We have less than 1 week until Halloween, and experts project that Americans will spend a record $10 billion on the holiday this year.
That's right. The National Retail Federation predicts that people will spend $2 billion more than last year on Halloween candy and decorations. Most of the money spent, more than $3.3 billion of it, will go towards costumes. The organization says this is the most consumers have spent on costumes since 2017, and the average consumer is expected to fork over a little more than $102 on Halloween-related items.
And just in time for Halloween, another holiday celebrating a fall staple. Tomorrow is National Pumpkin Day. Whether it be festive decor, a costume, or a fun crafting activity, the national holiday will be definitely in spirits come tomorrow.
And if Halloween and National Pumpkin Day weren't enough, here's one more reason to celebrate, and it's a good one. Today is National Greasy Foods Day. That's right, if you needed an excuse to indulge, October 25th is your day. Some quick facts about some of our favorite fatty foods. The average American eats, get this, 29 pounds of French fries each year, and donut makers produce more than 10 billion donuts annually. And I am certain that I contribute a lot to both of those numbers.
Me too.
I love French fries. After this, Chris, my producer, and I are going to go to Cane's to celebrate. What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
Definitely Taco Bell because I'm vegetarian, but love Chipotle.
I love
This is
Chipotle
good.
too. Is Chipotle fast food?
Yes, I feel like it's not in the same chain.
It makes me
as,
feel
like,
healthier.
It does.
When I go,
Yeah.
but I love Wendy's. I
Got
love
baked
McDonald's.
potato,
I'm a
loaded baked
Pittsburgh
potato.
girl, so we don't have Cane's in Pittsburgh, but I'm a
no.
huge fan of it now.
Okay.
So that's what I'll be
Some
hitting up
good
today.
eats.
Yes, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for spending your Monday evening with us.
Be sure to connect with us on social media at Kent Wired and our website at kentwired.com. You can sign up for our bi-weekly newsletter for the day's top stories right next in your inbox. I'm Gabby Jonas.
And I'm Maddy Haberberger. Stick around for a brand new episode of Sports Corner right here at 8 o'clock, and have a great night, Portage County.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.